Alright, so I'm recording a video right now just to let you all know that, see, I got pretty upset at one point because of what my mom's boyfriend did to her, but to be honest, when I think about it, maybe when I was younger, I should have been like him because he really knew how to stick it to her to where she didn't act stupid as much as she really did when I was younger, because I don't like that woman. I don't like my mom. You know, I showed grace. I gave so much money to this Jezebel vessel, and all she did was spit on it and piss on it and trample it, and then turn her back on me, and then prevent me from seeing my sisters unless I gave her money. And then the moment I gave her money, all of a sudden I felt love again, and I was able to magically see my sisters again. And all of a sudden we were a family again. Just like, I guess, when my dad no longer was able to make as much money for her to, basically be his therapist, his punching bag too. She was probably thinking, you're not making enough money for me. I don't want nothing to do with you. So she went on to other targets, like, a more financially stable white guy, a more financially stable black guy, and then a more financially stable son. And then she collaborated with that financially stable black guy. And instead of being like, hey, I'm not going to let you hoe out my son, no. I believe they did, and this is allegedly, I believe they did sex magic. I think they had pillow talk of ways how they were going to get money from our son. And because of that, I don't like her. I don't like her. She puts 9 inches and stacks of books before, and stacks of cash. Don't let me forget that part. And stacks of cash before her own children. And here she is acting so uppity that I hope she goes to a level of heaven that is above me, since she's so prideful, so good. She says I'm so smart, but yet I was so stupid to give her all this money and let her just spit on me and disregard me and hoe me out. No, I have plenty of shortcomings, and you took care to make sure that you took advantage of that every single time. Just like when I really wanted to get away from you, I wanted to leave that house as fast as possible with how you were being. I remember that one time you were yelling at me saying, if I could pay you every cent before I go to my grave, I would. But in reality, I think you had a plan all along to make sure I die before you, so you don't have to give me a single cent that you owe me, because you won't even sell your stacks of books. You love those books. Those books are like 10 to 40,000 idols, man. And you could sell your books to move away from this abusive dude. You suckered your own self. You're a punk. And not only that, you're a Jezebel. And I don't like people like you. I don't even like women that I've dealt with who are Jezebels. Man, I'm out of here. Sonic CD style. And I thought about driving my car 88 miles per hour to curse Benny. But in reality, I think I should have cursed you harder. And here I was telling you all these things while I was in psychosis. And you didn't even think to stop me or even encourage me in the right way. No. All you did was want to hoe me out to the fullest, till I was ashes. In fact, if I have a funeral, I don't want you to say a single word. Don't you ever say a single word about me. You have no right. I don't like you. I don't want to hear a single word from my punk dad either. And I definitely don't want to hear a single word from my older sister, that's for sure. I don't want to hear a single word. When I go to heaven, hopefully, and I'm praying real hard I go to heaven, because if not, then God, oh my God, you don't want to know. If I don't, and if I get tempted to not go, then yeah, I don't want to hear a single word from you. I wouldn't even invite you to my funeral. Just like I would never have children in your name. I would never have children in my dad's name. I wouldn't even want my children to know that you were my parents. I really wouldn't. I don't like you all. I don't. And God may have to forgive me for that, because I don't know if resentment is actually something you're allowed to do. I don't know if you're actually allowed to dislike someone. You know, the dictionary has changed. Webster's is from the 1800s. The Bible is from the 1600s. And we see how a lot of people change words and whatnot, which is why I got fooled into thinking definitions of certain words like idols and witchcraft and lust and all that stuff meant other definitions, at least while I was in psychosis. And then I also thought other things were divinations, and people told me it's not. Just like I thought I was speaking in tongues, and did my dad ever say you're not speaking in tongues? No, he encouraged my psychosis. That's why I told him, keep your nut to yourself, dude. Keep your nut to yourself, man. Like, seriously, if y'all are gonna be idiots, keep your nut to yourself. I don't even want to have children because, hey man, I got autism. Y'all hold me out pretty freaking hard, man. Really put blinders and then spun me around. Not Xbox 720 style. I'm talking about Xbox. I don't even know. I'm not that great with math. That's why I didn't even get to finish school, because I had all these issues with processing. And this was before anything you ever want to pin it on, like it's laced. You know what? I do think a couple of times it was laced, actually. And I think my dad got off to that, because I've seen bigger grins in my dad out of spite than I've seen on my own birthday. And I think that's what really ruined my birthday. I used to love that day, but now it's kind of ruined. In fact, I don't even like his face anymore. I used to love hearing his voice. I used to love seeing him. Now, I don't even like his face. It looks demonic, just like that day when I started realizing Rakib was very manipulative. And it took me a long time to figure that out. In fact, I had to have other people tell me that. And it's just made me realize I don't like any of these people. There's no one I like, and I don't think there's anyone that loves me. There may be one person, but I don't think there's a single person that actually genuinely ever loved me. And you know something? That's quite alright with me. I don't need love from anyone, because I've never felt it. And I mean never. But I thought I did, but I never felt it. So the only love I care about is from Jesus and God and the Holy Spirit. Because if they're not there, man, wow. You have no idea how hard I would curse every single living thing on the goddamn block. And I would love, sometimes I do dream about getting hung as high as possible and being able to curse everybody out, whether it be a beheading, whether it me being hung. And I would love Benny and my mom to be right underneath, so right when I die, all the excrement inside of me can baptize them, and they'll start to see, you know, I think I'm beneath even that excrement. Not just literally, I mean that figuratively. And I could just go further. I really could. I haven't had my Tyrion moment yet. I haven't had my, moment yet. Yeah. In fact, no one's actually ever heard me really upset. I've been upset in videos. There have been a couple times where I have yelled, or I should say a few times, where I have yelled at a few people, but it's not been like how people have yelled at me. And then another thing too, like my dad actually, who yelled at me over something really stupid, like you interfered with the baptism. And also another thing too, when I brought up some child abuse that occurred between us. But yeah, You know, I have no respect for you all. You all are Pharisees. You all are Jezebels. You follow half the verse, but then provoke your children. And then you know things, but then you don't know things. And then you do remember things, and then you don't remember things. And then you do slander me, and then you disregard me bringing up stuff that y'all done. This is why when I go to heaven, I would prefer to be in a cell and never see a single person ever again. I would love to be in a cell in heaven. I would love the Joseph lifestyle up there, you know? Yeah, that's what I'm going to pray for. I'm going to pray for the Joseph lifestyle up there. I'm going to pray for the Lot lifestyle up there, so that I don't have to see you all ever again up there. Because to be honest, when I see you all now, it takes a lot for me to even, yeah. I used to love you all, and the only person who ever convinced me to even give to you all, besides the thought of, my mom working multiple jobs, I thought, I felt bad for that. I would want to help her out. But the only person is Ken O'Keefe. He is the only person who ever made me feel, I need to give to people. Every single one of those people who have gotten a dime out of me, they need to thank him. Not my mom, not my punk dad, and definitely not Benny. Forget them. In fact, Benny, yeah, I liked that you didn't respond. You tried to put triple bind games on me. Danged if I do, danged if I don't. And then also to respect or no respect. It didn't matter. It was about your way. You little, you know what? You're a worm, dude. You're a worm. You're a parasitic worm from the feces of a pig. And you may be even beneath that. But you know something? That's okay. I can't judge that badly, can I? Because God would be pretty upset about that. So if you like being a little worm dude like that, you go right ahead, little dude. And, I ain't gonna stop you. But I know one thing's for sure. Yeah. You suck on that chode, dude. Yeah, you suck on that chode, dude. I didn't say you do that. You do that. I didn't even have to say that. It's like a spiritual chode, dude. You love it, dude. And you know something, too? You sure did like bragging about how you were hitting it from the back with my mom. With that, you know what? Just like you said something almost sexual about my sister. Very interesting. Also, another thing, too. You sure did have that Floyd mentality when it came to your stuff being destroyed. So, should I have that mentality with you and my mom? And then my dad's significant other? Since you looked at me like I was your son? You know something? I think you do. Because I don't think you love your children, dude. And I don't think you love me. So I think it makes perfect sense for you to tell me I look at you as my own child. So maybe that wasn't a big lie, after all. Either way, though, hasta la bye-bye.